Hi guys, Eric Pavey here at PickDogs.com. It is 7:07 Eastern Standard Time, and it is 4:07 Pacific Standard Time for you, Al. And I never watch games, Al, but I'm going to step on my skateboard. It's 23-10 in this Georgia Notre Dame matchup. I cannot remember. Did you have a selection on this game or not?
I didn't. One of the reasons I stayed away from it was Notre Dame had much better yards per rush statistics than Georgia. And, at the time when I handicapped the game, Notre Dame was the underdog. They now switched to become the 1 point
Right.
favorite. But, I don't like laying points to teams that have better yards per rush stats. So
There
I
you
just stayed
go.
away from the game.
And the only comment I'll make on this game is, I have a lot of business partners, Micah and company. They all hail from the great state of Georgia Peach. These guys breathe. I don't know if and again, I don't know if it's just some places NFL is big, obviously here in Maryland with the Ravens, but you go to a state like Georgia or Alabama, college football is a religion. And I have texting these guys while the game is going on right now. It is like you would have thought the world just came to an end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a religion in South Bend as well. So you got two,
Exactly.
two religious groups going up against one another. I guess I don't know.
Exactly. So, with that being said, if you guys want to pick up the all access, what can I tell you? What I can tell you is this: I did the paperwork. I didn't even talk about this with Al prior to Al coming on. And I'm going to grab my phone because I have it right here. And a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between the all access and what's the difference between the non all access? Currently, if you go to pickdogs.com documented, you will see that Al is 875 and 65 in the last year. I figured it out on average odds of 110. If you bet $1,000 on every game, you made 120,500. So all I will say to you is this: you made well over that unit wise if you were following our all access system. Currently, right now, we're up over 400 units in the same period of time because Al rates games 1 unit to 10 units. Now, as we always say, it's not for everybody. You have to have the ability to variate your wager and go from that 1 unit. Let's say you're $100 better up to 1,000 on a 10-star game, or 1,000 up to 10,000 on a 10-star game. But again, volume. 1,560 games. There's often an unrealistic expectation, as we've talked about being in this business so long, Al, of the 80%, the 90%. Guys, you print money 56, 57%. You got to play the volume game. 875 wins, 685 losses. And to you, the player, if you're caught up in the short term, you miss it on the long term, whether you're playing each game for the same amount of money as the units are tracked at Pick Dogs, or whether you're an all access member. Long term volume is the name of the game. With that being said, you can add to that, and I know you have a complimentary selection as well.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm going to tell you a story.
Oh, by the way, a lot of
Um,
people in the comments, I know you don't read them, they like the story. So go ahead.
oh, they do. Oh, that's great. So, every handicapper, no matter how good the handicapper is, he's got customers who they can't win at all because of the things they do. You could give the guy 7 out of 10 winners, he's not going to win. So this one, I've got a client like that, and this guy, he only wants to bet the pro leagues. Okay, so he only wants to bet baseball, NBA, NFL. So that's
Got
problem
it.
number one. So he doesn't want to bet college basketball, doesn't want to bet college football. Um, he calls me up the other day and he says, I'm losing. I need a get out game, etc. And I said to him, I gave him, 3 games, and trying to remember what they were. They were the Michigan Wolverines, Campbell,
Mm-hmm.
and I forget what the third game. We swept the board that night in college
Right,
basketball.
right, right.
You know,
Oh, you mean he don't want to bet
well,
Campbell plus 28?
No, no. I mean, he's just a guy. He's like, he goes. I don't know anything about college basketball. I don't want to bet on that. He goes. I'd be flying blind if I bet college basketball because I don't know anything. And it's like, that's my job, right? I mean, I'm the one who's supposed to know this stuff. He bets his own games. So he's betting his own baseball teams, his own NBA teams, his own
Right.
NFL teams, and he's buried. And then he says to me, well, I don't want to bet college basketball because I don't know that sport. And I think to myself, like, you don't know fucking anything about anything.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, I'm going off tangent here, but yeah, that's really, when someone joins our service, they have to trust us because they're going to get college basketball teams they've never heard of before.
Listen,
They're
like I tell people, people always ask me, I've been doing this 36 years. If I have a winning year every year with all my syndicates, I'm going to I'm going to add to your story. I'm not going to name the person. I'll tell you off air. So one of the syndicates that I worked with wagered $3.6 million in this football season so week 1 to now. It's currently January 2nd. They have a net profit of $203,000, which is 5.6%.
which is awesome.
The guy was in the best mood ever. I said, you understand if I tell the average guy, you bet $3.6 million and made $203,000, they would go, what is that? No one understands that reality. And then if you can make 5.6% and you can replicate that and you can bet 100 million, obviously the number gets bigger, even though the percentage is small. So I just wanted to share that with you, Al. I know you could appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I was going to go over and try to see what our ROI is this year.
And that was just his football season.
Yeah, because I think at one point during the
non-rated, obviously, betting the same amount on every game.
Yeah, let me just see something. What our ROI is, if I could find it here. So our ROI, 5% is incredible. Our ROI for football, NFL and college combined this year is 9.22%.
Unbelievable.
Which is off the charts. For basketball, our ROI this year, are you sitting down, Eric?
Go ahead. I'm standing up, but go ahead.
Okay. Take a guess what our ROI is for basketball through
I'm going to be,
yesterday.
I'm going to key off the 9 number and say something stupid like 16%.
Oh my God, 16.17%.
And I did not, there was no discussion of this prior. All right.
Right. So the way you figure out ROI is net profit divided by how much you risk. So we've risked this year 129,452, and we've profited 20,928 off that.
Right. And guys, this is for the non-rated stuff. This is not even.
And that's and the other thing is that's like smaller numbers, like guys who are betting 1,000, 5,000. Another way to look at this is, in basketball this year, we're up roughly. Anyway, I could go on and on. We're making a fortune this year in basketball.
There you go. Guys, if you want to reach out, 702-769-0404. As always, you can get my all access. The numbers we're talking about are based on flat betting, straight betting. What's your comp selection this evening?
Earlier when we were talking, you asked me about, I'm trying to remember the name of the game now. The Georgia Notre Dame. And you said, Did I play that game? I'm like, no, because I didn't want to lay points to Notre Dame. They had the better rushing YPR stats. Well, there's a game tomorrow, or now we're recording this, so it's today as you're watching it. There's a game Friday in college football where Virginia Tech is getting like 8.5 points right now. The line opened, I think, a lot lower, around 4.5, but it's all the way up to 8.5, 9. But if you take a look at Virginia Tech's YPR, their yards per rush stats, they're so much better than Minnesota's. They're averaging on offense 4.8 yards per rush. They're giving up 3.8 on defense for a net YPR of 1. Minnesota is pretty flat. They're getting 3.6 yards per rush on offense, giving up 3.5 yards per rush on defense. In the bowl games, you don't want to lay points to the team with the better YPR numbers. We're just going to take Virginia Tech plus the 8.5.
Virginia Tech plus the 8.5, 702-769-0404. Good day and good luck.